Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week or for November 2024. We are going to jump right in here. You have this antelope spirit. It says life is speeding up. You also have this cow spirit. It says the miracles are endless. So that looks good. There could definitely be some miracles coming in for you. You know, if you've been hoping and praying for blessings, you have the Four of Swords and the Nine of Cups. These are both really good cards for receiving blessings or, getting blessings. The Four of Swords, he's hoping and praying for something. And there's a person right here in that stained glass window that is blessing another person. So the Four of Swords is kind of like waiting for blessings or hoping and praying for blessings to enter into your life. And, again, it looks like there could be some miracles coming in. I would say that this is like something that you have earned because we have the the Hermit showing up here as well. The Hermit has gone through a dark night of the soul. He has been through something difficult, and that's why he has earned his right to be at the top of the mountain, and he has found his inner light. And so usually that is how we earn some sort of reward or, we get something that we've been hoping for. You have the Four of Swords here. So Four of Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering. This card has come up for a lot of people right now, and I do feel that it's probably because of all the retrogrades that we have at the end of the year. I mean, whenever we have retrograde heavy ends of the year, it's always a great time to rest, relax, recover, get healing, focus on healing, focus also on getting into alignment as well with the Nine of Cups. With the Nine of Cups, we have to be in alignment to receive what we want. So he is meant to look chubby on this card because he's about to have a feast because he has had a feast before. So I always say, like, the Nine of Cups, the quickest hack with the Nine of Cups is just to be in alignment with what you want. And we can do things like adopt the habits. We can change our environment as well. When we work with the energy around us, then we can be in alignment with what we want, right? And, if there are things that are out of order in your environment, then the Nine of Cups says bringing those things in order will help you manifest whatever you're dreaming of. You have the Hermit. And, I still feel like it's kind of interesting because I feel like there are spots of conflict in your life is what I feel like saying. You have the Five of Wands coming up, and the Five of Wands can be conflict and competition, but it's like in my head, I'm seeing this as like little spots of conflict in your life where you have to deal with, it's like maybe there are people you're trying to avoid, or maybe there are conflicts that you're trying to avoid. And the Hermit says you're isolating yourself at the top of this mountain. In some ways, like, I feel like there's nothing wrong with avoiding conflict, especially this year. We have Mars going retrograde at the end of the year. So it's a great time to avoid conflict, but also, again, I think that it is time for you to shine your light. The Hermit has the star in his lantern, and I always say that he needs to shine that star bright. He needs to make sure that he is sharing his voice with the world. It's easy with the Hermit to be tempted to stay in hermit mode because he has shut out the world, and he is maybe thinking to himself, it's kind of nice at the top of this mountain where I don't have to deal with any BS in the world, right? And so with the Five of Wands, I would encourage you to face it, again, there are certain things, of course, that are always good to avoid. But at the same time, if you're isolating yourself and you're not like glowing up with this Empress energy, then it might be time for you to come down from the mountain and, potentially receive, criticism or whatever you're trying to avoid here. With the Four of Swords, you have the Page of Swords. Very curious time. I mean, I think that just collective energy right now it's a very good time to be curious, to look into things that you don't know a lot about, or to do more research on things that you're curious about. It just seems to me like a very curious time. So if you're interested in new topics or new ideas, follow your curiosity. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Eight of Wands. I kind of feel like this is good news coming in for you. The Eight of Wands can sometimes represent communication, so I feel that there could be some good news that you're receiving. The Eight of Wands is also quick success, and even with the Eight of Wands, when we are in alignment, we have success quicker. So the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Wands could be quick success by being in alignment with what you want. The Eight of Wands is really about aiming in only one direction, right? And so I always tell people, like, if you want love, then you need to focus on exactly what you want and not tell the old story, like everybody cheats on you or whatever it is that you go through. So I talk to a lot of people who say they want love, but in the next sentence they're like, but everybody cheats on me, but everybody does this, but everybody does that. I'm like, you're not focusing in one direction when you say that. Same thing with money. It's like if you have a money story, and these things are very hard to change. Like, trust me, I get it. It's hard to overcome these stories, but I feel the Eight of Wands is really encouraging that focus in one direction and the changing of your story. With the Hermit card, you have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is fortune after difficulty or blessings. So you have that Miracles Are Endless card. You have this Ten of Cups. Definitely could be some blessings coming in. I kind of feel that things are getting a little bit easier. Like I've said to everyone, we are not in an easy time. And, I think we're in a time where we really have to go for the things that we want, and it's not necessarily easy, but things could, there could definitely be improvements on your journey or with whatever you're trying to accomplish. So, I always encourage people to really kind of go for it right now, whatever it is that you're trying to do. And yes, there will be obstacles, and really there's no other, I wish I could say that there aren't, but there definitely are. Between now and 2033, where it's going to be a time of chaos. So I feel that we all have to kind of embrace it and, just push through it, right? There is no other good answer. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have the Stag Spirit. It says, you are meant for great things. I love it. It says, trust in all that you have to offer. Hermit, right? The Hermit is holding that star in his lantern, and he needs to trust that what he wants to share or show to the world with that star is worth it. So I feel like you need to trust that you're worth it. You have this Up in the Air card. It says, the situation has many unknown elements due to the influence of others. Five of Wands. We were talking about trying to avoid certain spotty conflicts, right? And these conflicts, they might not be real conflicts. It's like maybe you have a person in your life who hates on all your ideas, or, maybe you have a person who always points out what's wrong with your ideas or something like that. And I kind of feel the reason you have to face this is because it's almost like the universe is trying to say, are you going to do it anyway? Even if someone tells you that one of your ideas is stupid, are you going to trust yourself and take the lead with this energy and do it anyway? And that's why I feel it's saying come out of hermit mode, right? You have the Eight of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. The Eight of Swords is only seeing one way of doing things when there are many. So with the Eight of Swords, we have to stay open to all solutions. The Eight of Swords, she's also standing in this very shallow pool of water on the card, and it kind of represents shallow emotions. It kind of says that what you are worrying about might not be as big of a deal as you think. So it can sometimes represent kind of coming out of your emotions. Not that we should ever, leave our emotions behind. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is sometimes I think we need to tell ourselves that, we're making too big of a deal. I'll tell you this. I have a friend who has been nonstop worried about AI stealing jobs. And I'm like, well, maybe, sure, they probably will, but it's right now, it's not stealing your job. It's you have to do what you can with what you got right now, because all we have is today, right? So I keep telling this person, you need to stop worrying about AI, because could it? Sure. Yes, absolutely. But you need to do what you can right now. And I kind of get that feeling with the Eight of Swords. It's saying you need to focus on what you can right now. You have the Five of Cups. He is grieving the loss of something that he once enjoyed, this spilt wine right here. And fives have very easy solutions. So with the Five of Cups, all we have to do is practice gratitude. We have to be grateful for these two cups. Then we get this bridge and this castle over here. So the Five of Cups is about realizing that what you are having a hard time releasing is not even something that you want any longer. And there's greener pastures available for you right here. The Knight of Pentacles just says you just have to plant those green pastures. You just have to get to work and start planting your seeds. You have the Ace of Swords as well, and the Ace of Swords is a victory or the truth and balance, which is a great card and a great word for you, Libra. And it seems to me like you're bringing things more into balance. I also feel there's a crown for the taking. There's that crown on the top of that sword, and it's almost like saying you can claim your crown. There's something about this right here, the Five of Wands. It's I tried to say this a second ago, but it's almost like you need to face the haters or something like that. I don't think you actually have to do anything, right? All I think you have to do is kind of prove them wrong. But that, again, I don't think we should come from that that energy. If we're doing something, can we use that as motivation? Absolutely. I think a lot of successful people are successful basically because they had something to prove, right? But I think as long as we're using it in a positive way, then it's perfectly fine. But I kind of do feel this is kind of saying that you have to, and you can turn this into a positive, right? You can say, by doing this, I'm inspiring those people who don't believe in me. But there's something about that in this reading. Like you are proving people wrong. This card really wants to come out, so we're going to take it. I ignored it a second ago because it tried to come out with that 10 of cups, but we'll take it. You have the Tower and the Strength card. So some of you could have had a tower moment, or, this can say that facing a reality will develop your strength, or embracing a reality will help you develop your strength. And so that's what I feel like you need to do with the Tower and the Strength card. This could say that you've had tower moments and now you're being reborn. Like I almost get the energy of this saying that you have had a tower moment and now you're rebuilding yourself, and you could be showing, people in your life who don't necessarily believe in you what you're capable of. With the 5 of Cups, you have the 6 of Pentacles. Yes, start planting those seeds. 6 of Pentacles is my card of planting seeds. The Knight of Pentacles, he needs to plant seeds. He's the only knight in the tarot that isn't making any movement, and he has those empty fields behind him. If he were just to plant seeds in that field, if he would just get started, those seeds would grow. And then you have the Empress right here, which says that, you can grow things easily. She grows the wheat in front of her very easily by waving that scepter, and the wheat grows. So I think that there's a lot of growth that's available to you. And, this is talking about you embracing it or creating it. With the Ace of Swords, you have the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords is a never-ending nightmare. 9 of Swords is like round and round energy, going to bed, having a nightmare, waking up, being stuck in a nightmare. And so I feel that this is like part of your story that you also have to change here, Libra, with that Ace of Swords. It's like there's a crown that's ready for the taking, and I feel for a lot of you, this is saying you just have to go for it. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this disseminating moon. It says, take time to breathe out, Empress in the 4 swords. You have this 3rd quarter moon. It says adjustments are required. So we are in a time of adjustments. We get the 9 of Wands, for example, comes up in a lot of readings. And the 9 of Wands is my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. You have the 8 of Swords here, which says there are many solutions to whatever you're dealing with, or even if you're just feeling a little bit stuck, there are many different adjustments that you could make that would make whatever you're trying to do successful. And so nothing that we're doing is going to happen, exactly how we think it is. And I just think we have to experiment and kind of like roll with the punches, and we just can't give up on what we're doing, because if we keep going, we'll probably discover greener pastures. We will probably discover a better way that we can do things. So I feel like the Knight of Pentacles, in a lot of ways, in your reading is saying there's a better way that you can live your life, or if you're working on a business or trying to create something, that you can get much better results. But I kind of feel this is about you planting seeds, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, and going on the journey to discover, what is actually going to work for you. And sometimes, I think the beautiful thing about experimentation is that it really allows us to get feedback, and feedback can be very helpful. And even if we're getting feedback just from ourselves, that can be an amazing thing for success. It's like I tell people all the time, I teach a lot of classes on YouTube on the weekends, and, I like for myself and for other people. And I cannot tell you how many times, like, people will say to me, like, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about that. I just tell them, just talk about everything that you want to talk about. Like, when something works, then that could be your topic of your channel. It's like, but we have to experiment. And there are so many examples of, channels on YouTube that are very successful where they started talking about everything, and they've kind of like focused in to talk on one thing once they figured out what works. And I feel like that's what the Knight of Pentacles is saying. It's like, you need to play in life and see what it makes you feel best and what works, and go from there. But I really see this as a greener pastures reading. We even have a cow, the cow spirit, as your first card. You have another cow right here, Taurus, with the Empress, Libra. And the Empress is all about abundance and creating abundance. She can create abundance very easily. And a lot of people have also had the Empress in the month of November. So it could be just an abundant month, but I do feel it's going to require work. The other thing that I've said to people is that the Empress is efficient. All she has to do is wave that wand, that scepter, in front of her, and the wheat will grow. So she isn't necessarily struggling to get the result that she's working on. And again, I've said to other signs this month, if there's one word that I would focus on in November, it would be efficiency. Like, am I doing things the most efficient way possible, or am I wasting my time? And I would just focus on that, because clearly there's a lot of abundance available to you. I think I did say to Gemini, I did Gemini yesterday, and I think it was Gemini that I said I had a feeling that all three air signs would probably get the Empress. We have Jupiter and Gemini, and that Jupiter and Gemini energy is going to even benefit you being an air sign. And so, again, there could be a lot of abundance for you. You have this Five of Wands. I was getting the word spotty conflict on this card. That might make sense to some of you, but it just seems like there's spotty conflict where it's like sometimes something is an issue, sometimes it isn't. And that's kind of the feeling I get. And I wish I could get more detail, but that's the only thing that's popping into my head with the Five of Wands. And again, it's like sometimes you do something that's an issue for people and sometimes you don't. And I don't know. I hope that means something to someone out there, is what I would say. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is growth, right? She normally has those grapes that are growing behind her on the Nine of Pentacles. So the grapes in the tarot represent something that is very challenging to grow, but she can do it well because she has a skill. And so this could represent you creating more abundance with a skill that you have, or because you have a skill. And that's what I would focus on with the Nine of Pentacles. With the Empress, you have the Page of Cups, a little bit of love here, and you have the Six of Cups right next to it. So for those of you that are interested in love, you definitely could be attracting like a new person into your life, or an admirer. And so this could be new love. With the Five of Wands, you have the Sun, best card in the deck. So this makes the whole entire reading more positive. The Sun can also, this could also, here's another thing that I'm getting off of this with the spotty conflict thing, is like maybe you have not been sure of where conflict is coming from in your life. And this could be a light being shown on what is causing conflict for you. So if you've been experiencing conflicts, or apparently if you've been experiencing a lack of focus, since this card doesn't want to focus here, then you could be it could be being illuminated to you what is causing a conflict. We even have the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords can be focus, and it can be laser-like focus, being very focused on one thing. So you could be becoming aware of the truth of what is going on as far as conflict is concerned. You have this Gratitude card. This is coming up in the good stuff in this Immerse card. I feel you need to immerse yourself in gratitude. Five of Cups, the Nine of Cups, even that Eight of Wands. I think being in the energy of gratitude is going to be the thing that attracts the best stuff to you in the month of November. And that's what I would focus on, plain and simple. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Something's coming back into your life is what I feel. But, it's like I don't feel this is a person necessarily with the Six of Cups. If it's love, I feel it's just love is coming back into your life. And, I'm speaking about the energy, but it could be like a new person that brings love into your life. It could be money, it could be whatever, but there definitely is some sort of change in your fortunes this month, and I feel like things are improving. You have the Six of Cups, which can also represent a turnaround. The Wheel of Fortune can kind of represent a turnaround. Six of Cups to me is sometimes a gift from the universe, and usually the gift we receive is the removal of an obstacle and from the Six of Cups. So I feel with the Five of Wands, the Sun, the Ace of Swords, these are all cards that are saying there's some sort of obstacle that's being removed from your path, and yeah, I feel that's what's going on here. I also feel that you could be attracting a soulmate. Sometimes I feel, Six of Cups could just be a soulmate. Page of Cups could be a new person. It could definitely be a Knight of Wands person. It could be a fire sign that's coming in for you. Knight of Wands and the good stuff would be someone who's like spontaneous, more playful. I guess maybe the challenge with the Knight of Wands is being serious. Sometimes I think we wonder if a Knight of Wands person is serious or not. So again, I would just, as long as you're matching energy, as long as you're paying attention to the results that this person is getting in life, then you will be fine. Again, I think, love is very simple. I think people make it way too complicated. Again, I think as long as we pay attention to the results that the person is getting and what their life looks like, then we will be fine. It's when we don't pay attention to the evidence that we get into trouble. So I feel this is saying, as long as you're paying attention to the evidence, and if this person has a lot of good evidence that they're a good person, then they're a good person. If they don't, then they're not. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Star. You have the Sun and the Star, and the Empress. This is definitely glow up energy. I just think there's a lot of attention for air signs. Jupiter and Gemini. We also have Pluto moving into Aquarius, which is going to be great for getting attention and standing out. I think the one thing that everyone can work on with Pluto and Aquarius over the next 19 years and something months will be how you get attention. And the trick with Pluto and Aquarius is to just live the life that you think is the best life, right? We should all be working to becoming examples, right? We don't have to tell people to do things. We shouldn't tell people how to do things with Pluto and Aquarius. We just need to show by the results that we're getting. And so I think that would be a great thing for Libra to focus on. With the Six of Cups, you have the Hangman. Hangman is a new perspective. I do feel you have a new perspective on love, or maybe this Tower, all this stuff going on over here is saying that you have gained a new perspective on love. And the Hangman is also enlightenment. We see a lot of stuff here actually that would kind of represent getting answers, especially if you've been stuck up here with the Eight of Swords. We have the Eight of Wands, Ace of Swords, the Sun, the Hangman, the Star. These are all cards of enlightenment or receiving answers. So if you've been hoping to overcome an obstacle, again, this could be you receiving answers to overcome an obstacle. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Big opportunity here. With the Ace of Pentacles, we also have to nurture what we are growing. And it looks to me like you are growing greener pastures in this reading. The Ace of Pentacles is like a garden. We have to water it, feed it, fertilize it, give it sunlight. So as long as we take care of any opportunities that we're getting, those opportunities will grow, and they'll grow very well. And so I would take care of any good opportunities. You have this Cloud card that says temporary problems. I feel you've been dealing. That could be the spotty conflict as well. It's like maybe every time you try to do something, there's like a little conflict that pops up. And so you could be overcoming these little conflicts. You have this Lily card. It says spiritual love on it. So there definitely could be a spiritual connection coming in for you. I feel like you might be saying this person isn't serious, but again, I would look at the evidence. Like, what does their life look like? Is their house, it might sound ridiculous, but like, is their house clean? Do they have good health habits? Do they have good habits in general? Are they successful and they're actually successful? They don't just say they're successful, right? And I would pay attention to all those little things because again, but I feel like this person is that. I think if you look at the evidence, because they're showing up in the good stuff, that they are good. But maybe your initial impression here is that they are not serious. But I think they are. You just have to look. You have this Teardrops card that says great personal sorrow. Again, this is over something that you no longer have. Five of Cups, right? He is in the Tower with that Eight of Swords. It's like he is looking at what he no longer has, but there's something so much better that he could grow with that Knight of Pentacles and all these other amazing growth cards that we see at the end. So I feel this is about releasing something that you no longer enjoy anyway. You have this Teapot card that says deep friendship with someone of the same sex. Amazing time to socialize at the end of the year here, especially with supportive people. So if you're, socializing with supportive people, I think this will be good. You have this Death card that says pay attention to your work, and Nine of Pentacles, which is doing good work because she can do something that most people can't. So as long as you focus on that, there will be a lot of success as well. But really pretty good reading here, Libra. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.